And welcome everybody to a special edition of Aaron the Dog Talk here with my girl Gillian, the Savage Robertson for Savage Volume 5.0. The only person keeping track is myself, but how you doing, Gillian?
I'm doing good. Excited now. I got fight news, so I'm hyped.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're gonna have this anyways, and then you told me to kind of wait a couple days, and I usually know what that means. So yeah, congratulations. It is now official. Miranda Maverick and yourself on the 13th. You've signed it.
Technically, I still don't have a contract, but
Okay.
I have my flight to Vegas. I have all the medicals and shit like that. So and Miranda posted it before, so I'm assuming that it's good on both sides there.
Yeah, everybody's posted it, including my boy Marcel on Twitter. So once Marcel posts it, I go with it. So
That's official then.
yeah, he knows before you do. So that's a big deal in letting the fighters, officially know before everybody else knows, I guess. But just another day in the life of the Savage, I guess. You just fought back in what was that? The end of the last card of the year, the 19th.
Yeah, December 19th, and again grappling later on in the year, and then yeah, I like to stay active, so I'm back at it.
Yeah, it's almost like after that year, nearly year-long layoff after the Macy fight, you're just like, all right, I'm just never gonna let that happen again. So yeah, you had the fight against Talia Santos. Obviously, didn't go your way, but what do you kind of take away from that fight so quickly in the turnaround here?
I said it is what it is, like you just got to kind of keep on moving forward. So I take the experience from that. Like I would have win though. Like, I look at my wins and I analyze where I need to get better. Here, I'm just doing the exact same shit. I'm looking at it where I need to get better. And then I just moving forward. That's all we're looking for is the future. Cause that's where I'm getting the belt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, with Maverick, you're definitely not just taking this turnaround fight against a very easy opponent. So props to you right there. A lot of people know about Maverick from her debut against Lilian Jojua, which, I mean, it was a fine performance. She did get the stoppage in between rounds with that cut on the nose, ironically, which she's kind of already pointing to a little bit on social media. I don't know if you've seen any of her posts, but she's definitely making some jabs about the nose thing. So I don't know if that's towards Liliana or yourself or a little bit of both, but I've been seeing that a little bit. I don't know if you've been noticing that.
No, I haven't got a chance to see that, but yeah, I guess Liliana and me are two different fighters. It's gonna be a different fight in there, and we'll see what happens on the 13th.
Yeah, you're definitely familiar with Miranda as well. You guys kind of traveled in the same kind of grappling circles throughout the year. I know I've seen her kind of in brackets where maybe you were supposed to be lined up with her possibly. So you are familiar with Miranda and have been for some time, haven't you?
Yeah, we've never competed against each other, never worked with each other, but we've just seen each other on the scene a couple of times. She's like me, where she likes to stay active. I got a lot of respect for her like that, where she's constantly doing grappling tournaments. She's constantly staying busy. You don't see a lot of girls doing that. So, yeah, I definitely got a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fight here between, I think, two young prospects who are going to be part of this division. You're clearly on this card for a reason. When you see the other up-and-coming 125ers on this card, Macy Barber, I mean, it's stacked with talent top to bottom. This division, is getting bigger and bigger also, I mean, and better. So I just think that Miranda does remind me similar of you. She's 23 years old, so you're going to be the older fighter in the cage here. You are obviously more experienced as well in the cage. So I do see Miranda as, somebody who has some similarities to you, however, but she might not quite be there yet. So I'm excited to see that fight for sure. I think it's going to be really well-rounded mixed martial arts event. So I'm looking forward to seeing you back in there so quickly.
I honestly kind of said the same thing about her. I feel like she's like a southpaw version of me, but I'm just a little bit better. I feel like I'm just that much better that I'll be able to get the win, but we kind of have the same styles, kind of same game plans going into the fight.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that the division is being filled with more and more girls who are supposed to be at this weight, and who actually do want to fight. I just think that I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's going to be a very close fight, and I do think that there's going to be a lot of recency biases with all MMA, as I look into the breakdown aspect of it, and so I am anticipating getting a nice price on you for this fight, and I think bettors are going to be aware here, so maybe I'm going to be wrong on Don't Make lines, but I think a lot of people are going to remember Miranda opening up Jojua's nose. That's all over social media. They're just going to be like, wow, she's the next thing, and she's just Fear the. That's her nickname, is Fear the. So, very in battle of Fear the versus the Savage here. But yeah, so you're going to be in a position you're used to. I think you're going to be a dog in this fight, I think, by the odds standards, which the odds are wrong all the time. But I know that doesn't really make a difference to you or not. So how are you preparing for this fight over the next month?
I prepare for this fight like I do any other one, no matter what we're going in there. And I'm trying to implement my game plan. I don't really care what she's doing as much. I'm going to go in there and do me and fight my fight and just make sure that I impose my will on them.
And are you training just with Dean for this camp, or are you going and training with other? I know you're always kind of mixing up where who you work with is a benefit of not being tied down to a specific camp, or what exactly are you doing with regards to that? If you want to share any of that, if not, I didn't ask.
Actually, currently my coach, Dean, he's in Abu Dhabi with Dana, so we don't have him at the moment until the 25th. So he'll be coming back home, and we'll be finishing up the camp together. But until then, me and my main training partner, Jose Shorty Torres, we're just kind of being nomads. We're traveling up and down the state, just going to different gyms every single day, getting work where we can get work.
Right on. And so, yeah, this is like a very fortuitous kind of time for me to have booked this with you. Obviously, last time we were on, the internet wasn't great at Dean, so it's great to see the internet's back. Amongst good news, though, today USADA made an announcement that makes both of us, I think, very, very happy. Hopefully, we'll see kind of what the commissions do. But USADA announced today they've removed marijuana from the testing list. So basically, they're like, if you don't show up visually impaired and high, we don't care at this point. So I kind of know your thoughts, but how does this affect anything for you? What were your thoughts on the common sense finally coming in with USADA here?
Honestly, USADA for the longest time has allowed us to use CBD while in competition, and that's really the medical property of marijuana. So I'm like, really, you guys are just testing for the the part that makes you high. That's all they were testing for before, and it's like, how is that gonna really affect your fighting skills? How is that gonna make you any better? How is that helping you? So I just think it's been stupid that they've really tested for it all these years.
Yeah, I mean, it was just when we kept seeing towards the end of the year fighters getting wins taken away, though. I mean, Jamal Hill got a win taken away. He got his win bonus taken away. He had to pay a fine. I mean, it got to the point where it was getting pretty ridiculous. I just had an interview yesterday with Violent Bob Ross. He had to pay that fine, and he had to sit out for that time. And he's still actually under suspension because it's under Nevada State Athletic Commission or something. So there's still a little bit of work here to be done, but I think just kind of the tide of things with marijuana, people have kind of woken up to it. And so that's good. It's just one less thing to have to be concerned with, So I just wanted, obviously, your thoughts on that, and everything like that. So with just to jump back a little bit here, Submission Underground, it just is going to kind of be added to a ledger of things where it's Gillian making decisions that are, maybe advised against. I mean, the doctors literally probably told. What did the doctors tell you kind of leading up to the fight? Or the grappling event? Were you maybe jumping the gun a little bit, and that's why we saw the nose reopen? It looks great, by the way, today. So,
yeah. So after my last fight, I got 9 stitches in my nose. And I think it was like 2 or 3 days after the fight, I had Submission Underground contact me, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to grapple Pro Gonzalez this weekend?" I think it was like 3 or 4 days away. I was like,
Yep.
"Sure, why not?" Then I decided, I was like, you know what, I should probably like talk to the doctor about these stitches in my nose. Like, I might have to do something about that first. So I texted the UFC people, asked them what their thoughts were. They told me I could take the stitches out after 7 to 10 days. So I took them out at 9 days, then flew to Portland on day 10. And they told me not to train for about 21 days, but I figured 11 would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
11 for a competition, not even just training for a competition. But
yeah, but so literally it was like the first 30 seconds of the match. I remember I got a sweep and then I came up on top and I just see a drip of blood come down my nose. And I was like, fuck, man, again. Because it was healing so nice. And now I have a little bit of a bigger scar than I did initially after the fight.
Yeah, it does look like it's starting to heal, but I definitely saw that right during the event too. I was just like, oh, great. That makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, I mean, February 13th, plenty of time away. That thing's gonna be nice and healed over by then. And yeah. So with regards to the Submission Underground, the grappling events, that's just always kind of gonna be a part of how you kind of stay ready in between fights, isn't it?
It's a big part of just me getting competition experience too, because I feel like I never grew up in sports. I never really had that performing in front of people, going out there and making these high-paced decisions in front of crowds, in front of just in high pressure situations. So this is my chance to do so. Even though it's a smaller stage, it's still just as nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, and I mean, Submission Underground, I wouldn't describe as a small stage at this point. It is getting bigger and bigger. And eventually I'll be able to maybe get some notes to Chael on your actual accolades, let them know you're not at American Top Team anymore. You got your name right this last time. You realize it's Gillian. So we're getting there, Chael. But, there's a couple other things that, like, during that event, it was like he thought you were in a triangle when you weren't, which was really interesting to me when it was clearly you were in side control. But anyways, I definitely look forward to seeing how things go on the 13th. You know that Fight Bananas were totally in your corner here. Yeah, I mean, Miranda Maverick, she's a very good fighter. I have nothing but respect for her. I have no doubt she's fully in this game. So I just am really looking forward to seeing you go against another game opponent here. But I think that the experience and the level of competition is going to show here. So really looking forward to it on the 13th. Before I have you go, I'd love to have, first of all, fights are finally coming back. Thank God this weekend. We're getting 3 cards this week. We're getting one on Sunday, one on Wednesday morning. So like Wednesday at 9 a.m. And then Saturday's Conor McGregor Poirier card. I don't know if you know this, but starts at 1 a.m. our time. Yeah, so the main card starts at 3 a.m. It's good. Yeah. So I mean, I'll figure out a way to make that happen, but I'm not even sure if you're going to get to see the fight I'm about to ask you about, but I'm going to ask you about it anyways. And you can give your thoughts on any of the other fights too, obviously, but I'll go to the big one here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to remove myself from screen here because I'm going to have you give me a little prediction here. So no pressure, but you're on the spot now. So Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, Gillian Robertson's thoughts.
I honestly think it's a bit of a toss-up because obviously Poirier's been working hard in the gym and been there, and I feel like hard work pays off more than anything. But Conor is just such a precision artist and such a technical fighter, and I still think Conor wins it. I think he takes it away this time and still is able to pick his shots and find the openings.
All right, and thank you for doing that. I didn't even know I was going to have you do that myself. So you just I saw you kind of, and then you got right at, you're getting better and better at these interviews, Gillian. It's just, it's amazing seeing your media presence show up. I just want to, thank you again for always showing up to Fight Bananas. You were my first interview, and you're always going to be my favorite interview to have here. So we always root for you here. So, if there's anything you need to plug or anything, obviously shout out to Rob. for always putting up with you leaving him and going to all these other places and showing back up with new things on your face. And, hopefully there's nothing new after the 13th. But yeah, anything else before I let you go?
Of course, shout out to Rob, best dog in the world. Jose Shorty Torres and Dean Thomas, my head coach and main training partner. And just go ahead and follow me at Savage_UFC on Twitter and Instagram, and watch me get my hand raised on the 13th.
All right. Okay, Gillian. Well, as always, we appreciate you here, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
All right, I'll see you.
All right. Peace. And that was Gillian the Savage Robertson. Thank you for joining me on Savage Session 5.0 and the Dog Talk. We're with Gillian Savage Robertson. So until later on tonight, or I shouldn't say that since until next time, I will see you soon. Join me for breakdowns every Thursday at 8 p.m. Sometimes I'll be joined with guests. Other times it will just be myself, including for the Max Holloway catered fight on Saturday night. So thank you so much and have a good one.